You can be happy and still be tempted.
Are you happy?
With what?
With your marriage?
Why can't we be friends?
So we're friends.
Yeah.
Hello ladies, welcome back to my channel. Today I am bringing on the topic of the side chick. If you have ever been a side chick, are currently one, or planning on being one, this video is just for you. We will dive right into the story of today's movie and we will focus on the side chick played by Eva Mendez. We will also speak about many important lessons we can draw from this movie and this character, and don't be mistaken. I always knew that we can learn a lot from different characters no matter how morally corrupt they are. And this video may seem a little harsh for you, especially if you are entangled in a similar story. But please stay with me until the end, as I will be presenting a motivation, inspiration, and in my opinion, a better way. So as always, let's dive right into the plot of the movie. Michael and Joanna are a happily married couple until Michael goes on a business trip with a very attractive colleague and is tempted to cheat. Meanwhile, Joanna encounters a former lover. So this movie portrays two stories, but for the sake of today's topic, we will focus only on the story between Michael and the woman playing the side chick, Eva Mendez. Eva Mendez's portrayal of Laura in this movie is very sensual and alluring. I think that she is such a beautiful actress, and as always we can learn a lot from the sensuality and the overall dark feminine energy of a side chick. So we meet her right at the work party, following Michael everywhere he goes. We can also very easily see that she is very much into Michael. What is so disturbing about the side chick phenomenon is that a woman can see a man is married and try to actively tempt him, get closer to him, and wind up a situation where he gives in and cheats. I think that in this movie we can clearly see that Michael is very reluctant about this. He is indeed tempted because the character played by Eva Mendez, Laura, is a beautiful and sensual woman. She is also interested in him and she shows a very active interest. But we can also see that Michael really loves his wife and tries really hard to stay faithful to her. Ladies, this is why I love watching movies and derive different lessons from them. We can see exactly the way the story starts, how the things roll and how they end. Especially this movie makes us really learn a lesson and proves the point that side chicks are unfortunately pathetic and they are not queens. They are certainly in their wounded feminine energy and they don't respect themselves, sadly. We will get into that right after we finish with the movie story. So Michael and Laura go on a trip together. It is a business trip that looks like an excuse. You know that I know what I am doing, but I don't want you to know, so I choose to pretend. They are both visibly drawn to each other, and I know desire can be a real thing and it is easy to be tempted. However, this is where a woman should really draw the line. Let me say that it is enough to know that you are a desirable woman, highly feminine, queen-like, high-value, sensual one that is a goddess who everyone wants to be with. And with that knowledge, you can go about your day, you can keep your sensuality to yourself and let your sexual energy fuel you even more. Every single woman is a sensual magnet. Your sexual energy is so powerful and it is certainly not for us to waste it on a person who is committed and married to someone else. Coming back to Laura, the moment when she noticed he desired her, it would be so much more in her favor to get up and leave. Ladies, take your sensual energy and let it fuel you. Keep it for the man who will cherish you. So the story of Michael and Laura goes downwards from this moment onward. I think this is when she crossed the line and instantly became low value. In that bar scene, she is visibly pursuing this man to cheat, and that's very not okay. Not only morally, but also the rule for queen-conscious woman is: never pursue a man, especially not for the sole sake of wanting him to sleep with you. And she even is the one who leans in to kiss him. Ladies, sex is the cheapest level of engagement in men for situations like that. For ages, men had to pay a lot to prostitutes to get access to a female sensual energy. For men, sex is cheap, while for us women, it is expensive for many different reasons. And this movie portrays that perfectly. So let's keep rolling with the story. So Laura tempts Michael for him to join her in the swimming pool. Of course, the tension is growing, a place just for two, with romantic ambience, where water and taking clothes off is included. And I kind of like how sensual Laura is there. I think, by the way, this is a perfect way to really grow the attraction in a relationship. If you are married, this is a perfect way to learn from Laura about how a moment and a place like that can grow the momentum, making a sexy and romantic, filled with desire moment. So Laura takes off her clothes and goes right into the water. She is tempting Michael to join her in. Of course, he knows and she knows that once he does it, it will be way too hard to resist the moment. I think creating such tempting moments in places where people need to be restrained is a genius way to fuel desire in a relationship. Creating momentum and so on, but tempting a married man like that is way beyond the morally sound line. So anyways, Michael gets into the swimming pool. He still tries to resist Laura, but I think everyone knows how the story will end. Yes, he follows Laura to her hotel room and he cheated with her. I think this is where the interesting part comes in. Of course, he was tempted. Of course, she is a very alluring woman, and a moment like that must have felt very passionate. However, in this movie especially, we can see how much energy Laura had to use to lure Michael into her bedroom. She was actively pursuing him only for him to leave her and with huge regret come back to his wife. At the last scene, we can see Michael trying to be nice to her. However, he regrets his decision visibly. It was just a one-night stand for him, while she has wasted so much of her energy.
Are you happy
With what?
with your marriage?
And will just to sleep with someone else's man and then get ditched. I think that we women mistakenly take men's sexual interest as a romantic interest. You think that just because he kissed you or spent the night with you, he loves you. And this is funny because this is exactly how we women project our mind onto someone else. When you get to respond positively to his pursuit, taking you out, buying you flowers, and when you decide to kiss him, he won you and you are slowly into him. This is a feminine way of behaving. How pathetic it is to be trying to win a man, and especially one that is already married. It is your privilege to be chased, pursued by men, and it is his prize when we finally, as women, give in and let him kiss us. And then, after way more pursuing, when you finally decide to get intimate with him, this is his prize that he's managed to get a woman like you, after so much pursuing, to share a sensual act together. This is why and how we women get it all wrong. And I will make a separate video on that. So let me just say that you gained nothing by getting him to sleep with you. You lost. He's now going to have to confess to his wife. He's going to have to try to make it up for her, work very hard to win her back, or make it up for her. And if he's going to lose a woman who he married for the sake of one night stand with you, he's going to resent you, and unfortunately he will treat you like nothing. We can see in the final scenes with Laura the big disappointment on her face. She probably thought that it would be happily ever after, but she was very, very far from it. Not only she lowered herself in her own eyes, Michael even came back earlier from the strip, and I would not be surprised if he changed the job right after. This is why being a side chick is literally the lowest position with men you can be in. You are temporarily desired by a man, but only as a plaything. You are hated by his wife. You are a reason of another woman's heartbreak, and if he has kids, you are harming them substantially. You are causing yourself even more heartbreak, and you prove yourself even more that you do not value yourself. You are despised by society, and every time you do something like that, you bring your self-esteem even lower and lower, completely shooting yourself in the foot. But ladies, here it is what you can do instead. Recognize the reason for this behavior. Choosing to be the other woman shows your very low self-esteem. Reflect on yourself and see what is the reason for that. Decide that you are a high-value woman and work towards it day by day. Go to therapy, journal, and heal the unhealthy love that you have for yourself so that you can attract the healthy love. Someone who will value you, pursue you, cherish you, and desire you. We often don't know the immense impact of our childhood on the way we are today. A great therapist can really do wonders, and I have used therapy and I'm so happy with the results. I feel truly healed and I recommend this to everyone. And then work on yourself to keep becoming the high-value woman I know we all are. Keep becoming her and never look back to the unhealed ways to cope with the world. Side chicks are hated by society because they break something we as a society always valued, a monogamous, healthy marriage. A loving bond between a man and a woman. But if you once were the other woman, have compassion for yourself. You were once hurt and you want to engage in such destructive behavior because you are unhealed yourself. I think looking at Laura, we could certainly notice how much potential she had in her as a woman, only if she started valuing herself and acting like a prize. And ladies, if you haven't seen, I have made a movie analysis on a very similar storyline with a very good happy ending. A woman who truly transformed herself from a situation like the one that Laura had. We did not see if Laura was very hurt by this affair, but the results of it could have been terrible for her. And imagine that she actually did try to transform herself after that. And the Turkish movie that I have made an analysis on, Arim Barim Patim, shows that very inspiring transformation from a woman who did not know her worth, chasing a man and getting used by him, to one that had transformed her mind and image to be such queen-like woman desired by many. One that is desired, valued, pursued, and highly sought after. So ladies, you have a choice. You can be a pheasant or a queen. Why wouldn't you choose to be a queen instead? And what stops you from becoming one? Thank you ladies, and see you in the next video.